Welcome to the Green Hour on WURD at 96.1 FM, also on 900 AM on the weekend, sponsored by Solia. I'm your host, Dr. Paul Hopkins, and we are here on air every Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m. You can also find us online at www.900amwurd.com and in the community. My co-host and health advocate, Mr. Bill Morgan.
Yes, sir.
All right. Each week we bring clarity to the conversation about health and environment. We encourage clean living from the inside out. A centerpiece of this is maintaining a healthy lifestyle and getting informed about the connection between good health and what is happening in the world around you. It includes what you consume, what you wear, what products you use on your body, how you clean your home, what you drive, what you purchase, and the decisions you make every day. We also focus on the environment as it is a key part of the social integrity. The Green Hour will focus on how people and the planet are one. And without further ado, hello, family.
Yes.
All right.
We're glad to have you guys.
All right.
Hey, listen, I just want to remind the folks to call in today. This is Testimony Day, right?
Yeah, we call this the change of seasons.
Change of seasons.
We are at the end, the official end of summer. I don't know. We don't want applause on that one.
I get that, man.
Yeah, I know. There might be.
Way to go, Mike.
That's Mike Moore. That's Mike Moore back there on the producing.
Right.
We can't believe how fast this summer went.
I tell you, man.
This summer went so fast. I could not imagine.
Yes.
It's like August just went. It felt like it was about a week old.
Yeah. I can agree with that. You know.
It was like I couldn't even imagine. It seems like we just started, and then next thing you know, we're at the end.
Yeah,
and I'm saying to myself, wow.
You know what? Some of us young people don't mind. Help me now.
Some of y'all know young people, yes. And in the meantime, I'm in the process, Bill, of a move. So
yeah.
I just did the move and everything that goes with a move, and I'm moving. Not out of the city, y'all. Not out of the city. Because some people are like, yo, Doc, you leaving? I'm like, no, I'm not leaving.
No.
I'm just leaving. It's close to the line, but I'm out there.
Okay.
And, and boy, I tell you, man, everything, my bones is hurting.
Oh, bless your heart. Bless your heart.
Bless my back is hurting.
Dr. P, I get it, man. About 10 years ago, did the same thing. My wife and I went out into so-called country of New Jersey.
Exactly.
My man, listen, it's okay to have people move you in. But guess what? Then after that, your friends leave you.
Yeah.
They leave you by yourself.
You know what? I know what you mean, but I can actually say, man, I had a blessed time with some brothers that came out, from my men's group. They really bombed up.
All right.
The ones that showed up. Brother, who was it? Brother Ron Hall and who was it? Jeremiah, T-Bone.
Man.
Maury.
I wish they were around when I was doing it.
Man, these guys came through, man. And
That's great.
They really helped me out in every level, and I appreciate everyone. If you're listening, thank you so much for helping me get in.
Terrific.
Everything about moving. I think about moving to me is almost like someone who's in pain every day.
Yeah.
I can imagine, this pain that I'm feeling right now in my knees and the back and everything. People like that every day. So, just off the cuff, real quickly, one of the things that I'm doing, this is one thing I'm doing.
Okay.
Absolutely. And this is for anyone who's in pain right now.
Right, okay.
You can do this, and to help you soothe the back, the joints, the ligaments, issues with the hip.
Okay.
We can do what's called a Himalayan salt bath.
Okay.
It's a pink Himalayan salt bath.
All right.
Not to be confused with the Epsom salts, because some people will do an Epsom salts bath.
I was about to ask you about that. What the difference is?
Yeah, well, the Epsom salts is magnesium.
Okay.
So in this case, that's just magnesium.
Okay.
Which is good.
Mm-hmm.
But you can even be better. You can do better by having a mineral like the pink Himalayan salt, which comes from the Himalayan mountains.
Okay.
The oldest salt, one of the oldest salts on the planet.
Okay.
And with this salt, it has 84 to 90 minerals in the salt.
Mm-hmm.
So many that you have the potassium, the magnesium, the chromium, the calcium, even the iron is in the salt. So what's happening when I was lifting them boxes, or if somebody's out straining themselves, or playing sports or whatever, you build up what's called lactic acid.
Okay.
Which is the muscle tearing down.
All right, now I'm going to ask you, you're talking about lactic acid.
Mm-hmm.
Does that Is that the thing that sort of makes it feel like there's a real strain at where the fascia inside here turns into that red muscle? That's where that stuff stores.
It's the tear down.
Okay. All right. I get it.
You build up that lactic acid. But guess what?
Sure.
When you take that Himalayan salt bath, it neutralizes the lactic acid.
Man, I'm glad to hear that.
Woo!
Buddy, I hear that.
And not only that, but the minerals that are in there sat for billions and billions of years, literally billions of years. And as it sat there, in the mountains of the volcanic mountains, it actually absorbed so much of the lava and things that it turned pink. And then by it turning pink now, you absorb all that nutrients. Now that goes into every cell in your body.
Okay.
Now when that happens, just by soaking in the salt, you actually literally start to absorb through the skin, the largest organ in the body.
Okay.
So now you can actually not only absorb the nutrients for the bones, joints, ligaments, and all that, but guess what? Lowers blood pressure.
Look out now.
Woo.
Look out now. Wait,
Lowers
now you know what?
pressure.
Let me tell you something. Let me take you someplace real quick. See, you're talking about the salt. Were we not commanded to do what? Be the salt of the earth?
Absolutely.
Okay. And with that being the case, does it not say that from where we come from, we return there?
Yes,
so
right.
therefore, these are actual natural properties
Absolutely.
that we have. Many of us are not getting into. We're not really trying to find out what makes us work.
Exactly. And you know the body is only looking for nutrients and energy.
Right, exactly.
And it only comes from the salt.
Okay.
Salt binds to compounds and nutrients. So that's grounding you. That's holding the charge.
Okay.
That's holding the energy in the body.
Okay.
But if you don't have the proper of organic salts, not as opposed to industrialized white salts,
All right.
or we call refined salts, which means they stripped it out,
Right.
then you're going to have that problem.
Okay.
You're going to have the fluctuation of blood pressure going up and down. You're going to have the issue with diabetes or sugar levels going up and down.
Okay.
And also the mineral count. Some people say I'm tired all the time.
Yeah.
Go to bed tired, wake up tired.
Yes.
A lot of that has to do with the energy not being held in the body. And a lot of that has to do with the ability that they have a lack of salt in the body. Because like you said, the Bible says you're the salt of the earth.
Yes.
Right? But yet they saying you can't have no salt, Bill.
But is it? I guess my next comment then is that one of the primary reasons when you go into the to the hospital and let's say you got to go into an emergency room, right? And they have to give you what? Saline.
Absolutely.
Is saline a form of salt?
Absolutely.
Explain that to us.
Absolutely. Well, you're talking about the hospitals buy a tremendous amount of sodium bicarbonate.
Okay.
Which is another form of the salt family. We know as AKA baking soda.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got
which
you.
Which is another one.
Get it. Okay.
One of the number one things that people are using around the world in places like Spain for treatments for cancer.
Right, okay.
It raises the alkalinity to the point where it eradicates bacteria, virus, fungus, sepsis, parasites, anything that's of that negative or that positive charge, which is acid or acidosis in the body. So, yes, you're correct.
Just want to make sure because you see, people, you know what, the people, I believe that folk want to know what the truth is, and they want to be able to know how to go about doing these kinds of things. And sometimes they may not know the particular question to ask. Okay? So that's want to make sure that I get into this so we can
see,
so they can get it.
The whole thing is about energy. The body's looking for energy, not the food, but the energy in the food. So again, you have salt. You need salt. So that's what I'm going to do when I get home. That salt bath waiting for me.
I know
so
that's right.
You're probably asking, well, how much do I take of the organic salts?
Yes.
Well, you can take anything from a quarter, 1/3 to 2/3 actually, of a cup into your bath water, and just absorbing that will allow you to just, 20 minutes, 30 minutes in the tub.
Okay.
Because nobody soaks anymore. Everyone takes a quick shower and in and out.
Yes, you're right.
And I believe that the solution for so many people to now start to get their bodies back in order because of the effects of GMOs and things, and the atmosphere, the pollutions, you have to detox the skin also.
Yes.
And that's one way we do it.
I tell you, interesting that you should say something about GMOs. I'm not going to get off on that. But on my Facebook page, page for the last, I guess, week or so. There are 9 series on this whole thing about GMO, so they can kind of see how those things work along with what we're talking about today. So we can actually go back and find out how these impurities, affect our bodies.
Absolutely. And here on the Green Hour, we want to talk about the things that are affecting the body.
Right.
So today, family, we want to talk about all those things. We want to call this Testimony Sunday. And after every quarter, we sort of recap what was going on. So if you have experienced anything over the holiday or this whole time frame that we're doing, going into the holiday of Labor Day. Happy Labor Day, by the way.
Right.
We want you to call in. We want you to chime in.
Right.
Chime in. Let us know some of the things that you've been trying. If you heard something here on the Green Hour that we talk about water, we talked about the GMOs, we talked about our big one that we did was on the vaccinations.
The vaccines, yes.
So the vaccines and things like that. So anything that you have as a testimony that you've applied, anything that we talk about on the Green Hour, we just want to hear it today.
Yes.
It's our way of the end of quarter saying, hey, let's look back.
Right.
And see what we have done.
No, they want you all to also recognize how much we appreciate your listening to us each and every week and sharing the information that we've been sharing here. And listen, let everybody else know. And by the way, again, let me give you that number if you don't mind.
That number
so that you guys can reach out and call us right here locally. That number is 215-634-8065. Again, that's 215-634-8065. And those of you who are outside of the local calling area, you can reach us here at 1-866 361-0900. Again, that's 1-866-361-0900.
Absolutely. And also, we're on Facebook.
Yes.
We're Facebooking live. Dr. Paul.
And Bill Morgan. That's B-I-L, Morgan. Not 2 L's, 1 L, guys.
Right. And also, we got hashtag Green Hour and also hashtag Green Hour 900.
Yes.
So either way, get a hold of us, send your questions, send your testimonies.
Yes.
We appreciate you, and we want to be able to answer the questions. But also, this is the time and cycles and changes of seasons that you should be doing something.
Yes,
we call this change of seasons. So as the change of seasons, as traditionally, you're supposed to be doing something. You got to be cleansing every change of season.
Yes.
So as the seasons change, beginning of every summer, winter, spring, or fall, you got to be doing something. So that's why this is a very important time that people start to do something with your body. So that's a colon cleanse, parasite formula. Some people do what's called the black seed bitters. This is also not to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Just food for your soul, family. You gotta say that disclaimer, Bill.
Okay.
And we just want to make sure that the family knows that traditionally this is what you do to keep the body clean.
Yes.
Get it in, get it out.
Yes.
Got it?
And you want to do it as often as possible, but primarily on a seasonal basis to do what? To update. When like we talk in computer terms, to update the system.
Update your system.
To make sure that everything is working properly.
That's right. So we do have one caller. We have the first caller, and that is Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa, you there?
Yes, hi.
Yes.
Dr. Paul.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
Okay.
But I have a question. I don't know if this is something you can help me with, but I recently found out that I have a ulcer on my cornea. And this particular eye also has had some retina problems. Okay. And I feel like they're kind of giving up on, because when I went there on Friday, the doctor told me that the cornea was swollen and that there was nothing that they could do about that. And so I said, is it going to be like that the rest of my life? And he basically said yes. So I'm calling you to find out, is there something that you can do, and if it is, I can come and, make an appointment.
Absolutely. Okay, absolutely. Some things I want to start off with a word of encouragement is that we don't give up on our people, number one.
Right. Yeah.
And we have expression, you breathing, you got a shot.
Yes.
As long as you keep the faith, we can understand that the body, when you feed the body in turn corrects itself 11 times faster than to get sick. But understand, you're speaking to an allopathic concept. We as naturopaths, we say when you feed the body, you will correct the body.
Indeed.
And that's how the body's looking for energy.
Yes.
So right now, if you're talking about an ulcer on the cornea, you're talking about inflammation.
Okay.
So what's causing the inflammation? Inflammation is directly a disease reaction to what is being the body trying to attempt to heal itself. It's trying to correct the problem. So that means that there's an imbalance, or we say when the body's in ease, it's in balance. When it's out of balance, it's in a state of dis-ease.
Dis-ease, yes.
So it's in a state of dis-ease, okay? So what you have to do is find out where your imbalances is, apply the principle, the universal principle, of course,
Yes,
and the
yes.
body corrects itself. We don't do anything. Everything is inside of you, but we have to find out where the imbalance. I would invite you to, at the end, I'm going to give my information out towards the end. I would say give me a call, and definitely we can address those issues, because it can get a little complex. We want to see what's going on and be able to diagnose it thoroughly, okay? But don't you lose hope of any kind. Understand that God is the author and the finisher of our faith, okay?
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
and understand what if there were some things that I would tell you immediately, you must cleanse the eye. Okay, you must cleanse the eye. When's the last time you flushed the eye?
I'm taking these eye drops that they gave me.
Okay,
I
now.
don't know, cleansing it.
Okay, now that's what I'm saying. See, the whole concept is that you're putting a chemical in the eye, but have you done things like natural, like an organic substance of anything that feeds to put in the eye to correct?
You, doctor.
Okay, okay, I understand. So that's what we got to look at. We got to start allowing in flushing, which means water. There's a time back in the days when folks used to always wash the eyes.
Yes.
Have the eyeglass, and the eyeglass would wash the eye. So those are things that I can help you with, Kwanzaa, okay? So give me a call, and I will give out that information before we end the show.
Yeah,
Okay?
I'm glad you said that.
Okay?
Yeah.
So be encouraged, my sister. Be encouraged. All right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
It's a great thing that we go back to some of what we call the old remedies.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of the new stuff nowadays, I don't think people have taken the time to sort of go back and research to find out what we used to do back in the day that helps us to be who we are.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We go back to that earth thing. I kind of go back there because, again, the reality is that, take a look at all the stuff that's in our air.
Absolutely.
We get in our airs that goes down through our sinuses, that gets in our bodies.
And the one thing, remember, dis-ease blocks, if what she's speaking about, it blocks those those ducts that actually naturally drain. That's why when we wake up in the morning, you're in that cycle. We're talking about circadian rhythm. That cycle of cleansing is between 4 a.m. and 12 noon. And that's the cycle in which you're cleansing from the lower intestines, large intestines, lymphatic system. That's when the skin is flushing. Also, the eyes. So the eyes would be flushing. That's when you wake up and you have that sand in the eyes. Say, Sandman came to see me last night. Remember that?
Right.
Remember that, Mike?
But you know what, Dr. Barr, I don't want you to get away from your thought. But you know what? Do we disrupt that when we do what? Eat late at night. Do we disrupt that cycle?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
And how does that impair us to the point that our bodies get really kind of like off kilter?
Right. Well, the circadian rhythm is considered, that's what it means. Circadian is just a, 50-cent word for circle.
Okay.
That's
I
all
get
it
it.
means.
All right.
It's a cycle.
All right.
Cyclical cycle.
Okay.
It means that the body and everything that eats, that has a bowel movement that it eats, eliminates. And that's people, animals, trees, plants, even cells in your body. They eat and they have a bowel movement.
Okay.
So what happens is when that happens, your body now is flushing. So as it's flushing, you got to know where you are at all times. And don't break the rules, Bill. Don't break the rules.
Man.
We say don't break the rules.
I get that.
Right?
I get that.
So the 3 cycles that we have, the first cycle would be 12 noon to 7 p.m.
All right.
Okay, 12 noon to 7 p.m. That would be your first cycle. That's called the intake cycle.
Okay. Intake.
That's when the body's taking in all the nutrients. That's when you have to maximize your energy.
Okay.
That means the highest vegetables, the highest proteins, the highest amino acids, and of course, maximizing in water.
Yes.
12 and 7, that's 2 meals.
On that point, do we do them simultaneously? Because, I'm just kind of like old-fashioned here at the point where, I recognize that if I consume food, let's say a hard kind of food that I put in my body, and if I take water at the same time, I'm almost like defeating my purpose.
Right. We say soon after you eat.
Okay. About how long? Approximately.
Sometimes it can be 30 minutes after.
Okay.
After you eat.
Okay.
You have to have the digestive enzymes to break down.
And that was my point.
And that's exactly what the body needs to do. It's being able to distribute properly, you know, the proper amount of digestive enzymes, breaking it down into the intestine, allow it to extract what it needs.
Right.
And in the intestines and lower intestine, you have this cycle called the villi, which actually moves back and forth like hair.
Yeah.
And it extracts from the food back into you. So we have to have it time to do that. That's why folks used to say that, you know, when you were little, you remember, I don't know if you told you, but they used to tell me all the time. They say, Little Paul. That's what they used to call me.
Little Paul.
Don't tell nobody, though. Little Paul.
I didn't say that.
Mike don't laugh. Little Paul. He said, chew your food, Little Paul. You know? And then you sitting there, you know, because, you know, young folks don't chew food no more.
No, man.
But the first process of digestion happens in your mouth as you're chewing. Enzymes are released from the salivary to start to and they start to tear down with the saliva.
Right.
And then the taste buds are firing off, sending it to the brain, telling your brain what food is on the way.
There you go, boy. I'm telling you. Look, you better stop.
So so it's all a system, man. This is a perfect system created by a genius.
Yes.
So you got to understand, when the food's breaking down in just the chewing aspect, people think that, you know, that's just a fact just to get it down. But no, that's a process of your digestion moving at that moment. So as you're digesting, you're chewing food, you're breaking it down in the mouth. It's tearing down in the mouth. So now when it gets to the brain, then already figured it out, taste buds, and send the signal to the brain saying, hey, we got this coming. So now body sends down, you know, the active enzymes to go down into the stomach, waiting for the food to show up.
I get it. I get it. Okay.
But now, wait a minute. What happens if I'm chewing gum?
Well, I think you've messed it all up because you kind of thrown some kind of a chemical imbalance in it. That's just me.
I think you sense this is a setup.
I'm trying to figure. You're trying to get me. Hey, Mike, you see, you're trying to get me, right?
I'm trying to get you, Mike.
Well, you don't see that every day.
I know, that's right. Way to go, boy.
All right. Well, what we're doing is, what I'm saying is that if you're chewing gum, all right, and this is for those who chew gum now. If you're chewing gum, you are chewing gum to tell the body that this is, you know, taste buds are sending off the signal to the brain. In anticipation for food that never shows up.
Man, I see.
So
that's kind of like where I was going with that whole water thing too. You know, when you take liquid after you've been taking in solid food. And listen, can I say this?
What?
It almost we end up making ourselves a garbage can.
Yes.
Because when you put that water in there, guess what? The body's got to extract the water first.
Absolutely.
Before it gets to the whole process of digestion. Okay? And when that happens, guess what? Remember, guys, we are 98.6 degrees.
That's right.
And it's heating up and heating up and heating up. And however long it takes for it to extract the water, guess what? You are now producing what I call a live garbage bacteria growing place.
Exactly. All right, we got another call. We got Janice. Janice on the line?
Yeah, hello, Dr. Paul.
Yes, Janice, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh,
listen, first of all, I want to ask you, how far are you from Stinton?
How far am I from
I'm away
Stinton?
from your address, yes.
I'm off of 501 West King Street, which is off of Shelton. Okay, Shelton and Wayne Avenue. Penn Street, yes. But I'll be able to give you the information at the end of the call, of the show, okay?
But I have 2 questions, if you don't mind.
Sure, no problem.
First of all, I guess I put it like this. I had cataract done, okay? And it was real bright. And I guess your eyes get dim. And sometimes you see paint. They say that's the symptom of it. You know, when you look up on the internet. Okay, I was taking something called Eye Bright. The liquid kind. I used to take the Nature Sunshine Eye Bright. And it was I used to see a doctor called Dr. Williams. He was a herbal doctor, I guess you call him. I don't know if you might know him. He passed on. He was real old. And it was I said, oh, it's so bright. He says, it's overbearing. I said, yeah, that's a good word for it. So he said, stop the dose. Don't take maybe 2. Let me know. And it did change. But anyway, right now I was taking Eye Bright, a liquid form. You may have seen it up in Mr. Pollock's store.
I'm very familiar with Eye Bright.
Yeah, well, anyway, I think it makes the eye too bright. And sometimes now when you go out, it's so bright, just overbearing. And what is...
Well,
do you
I mean...
think I'm overtaking it or what?
No. What you have to do is understand... yeah, you have to take all that in consideration, but I just have to ask you one question. Whenever you're taking any herbs at all, okay, you have to understand what herbs do. Herbs are going to go where they are needed. Their frequency to go to a certain part of the body. That's the intelligent design of what the herb does. How does it know? How does it know? Because the eyes are frequencied to that eye bright. Okay, or that eye bright is frequency to the eye. So when you take that, it'll go directly to that point. But you must keep things in balance yourself.
Okay.
When you take herbs of any kind, you must drink water. Okay?
Yes.
But it also not just water, but you must drink the right water. Okay? That's the process.
There you go.
Because
I drink Park.
Yeah, and that's the wrong water. That's the wrong water. Yes, absolutely. So again, we're talking about, these things that will have the right or wrong response. And that's why you have to do things in balance and decency and order. But what we do is I would say, I would see you come on in. We can do an assessment, see where you really are, help you watch that balance issue. If it was too overbearing, most of the time it's because it was a dehydration factor there. Okay, so I'm just based on what you're telling me, but I would recommend that you come on in. We can take a look at it further,
right,
and then we can assess the situation.
Well,
but always remember, there's some universal rules of thumb. Herbs demand water.
Yes.
To complete the process, and you have to do that. So when you're taking a herb of any kind, you have to drink water.
Okay, now what kind of water, Dr. Paula? Because the reason I'm asking you that... Go ahead.
What were you saying?
Go ahead, Janice.
Any hope for that? Would I continue taking Ibrita? What I have told you, do you think I should stop?
Well, I said get an assessment first. You got to know where you are.
Yes.
So you don't do anything until you know where you are. See, you don't want to be guessing. See, we don't guess. In naturopathy, we don't guess.
Right.
It's not a guessing game. It's science. So when you talk about science, we say spirit, mind, and body in that order. So you have to do things in decency and order.
Yes.
You have to understand what you're faced with, and that everything you've been told is not always the truth.
Yes.
So what you've been told about what is healthy is not healthy, especially now with the industrialization of the foods and what's going on with these factors.
Yes.
Did you know that Poland Springs just got... did you bring that to me?
Yes, I brought it, but I didn't bring it with me there.
Right. That Poland Springs is being sued because they told people for all these long years that they were giving them spring water, but it wasn't. But we knew because we test the water and we see that the water does not have a charge.
Yes.
So I'm just going to say all that to wrap it up for you, Janice.
Well, listen.
Give me a call, okay? We'll talk about it.
Let me ask you one more question before I call.
Okay.
Is any hope for a hernia?
Yes.
It doesn't hurt, but can they go away?
Okay. Well, we got to unpack what a hernia is. Okay, real quickly. A hernia is a basically rupture in the muscle, which now it depends on what kind. You're talking hiatal, inguinal.
Well, yes.
What it's doing is pressing through.
Yes.
Okay, the muscle. So now it leaves a hole. Literally, there's a hole there. Okay. So we use and we have herbs that are astringent herbs, which draw in, draw back in, and from that allows it to heal. See, the hardest part of a hernia is the fact that the weight of you walking every single day puts pressure. So when it does start to heal,
right,
then you start walking around, and then it opens up again. So it's one of the hardest injuries to heal because of the fact that you're constantly pressing because of the weight of the intestines, the weight of the foods. You got to stay away from heavy foods when you're trying to correct a hernia situation. But yes, you can correct the issue, but you have to know what to do. Okay.
Well, okay. I appreciate what you said. Go ahead.
Right. Okay, Janice.
Would I stop taking the Ibrite? Just that question.
Well, I can't tell you that. I can't tell you.
You got to give him a call.
You got to give me a call.
You got to give him a call.
Yeah, I can't tell you that.
You will give your address. I hope to see you soon.
Okay, we'll see you then.
Thank you.
All right.
Dr. Paul, before we take this next call here, I have a question here online that wants to know what kind of water in rinsing the eye.
Well, any kind of water that definitely we say spring water, but bottled at the source. That's the key. Spring water bottled at the source.
Right.
Why? Because spring water is not always spring water.
Right.
But you have to understand what bottle at the source means. Bottle at the source means that when it's captured deep in the earth, sometimes in canyons that are actually literally without even air.
Yes.
Untouched by air. So when you capture it at the source. We call that
Right.
God's water.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You got it?
I know that's right.
We call that God's water. So spring water, bottle at the source, is what we would recommend, number
Okay.
one. Okay? And we gave you those one. If you missed the shows before, we talked about some of the brands that are out in the stores. There's Fiji water. We talk about Fiji.
Right.
But also there's one that's really, I call God Savior right now. This
Yes.
throwing stuff out there and saying, when people say, I can't afford Fiji and all the things going on with my finances. But guess what? You got one right in the dollar store. It's
Yeah.
called Crystal Geyser.
There you are. Exactly.
Okay, Crystal Geyser. That is Crystal Geyser, not to confuse with another one out there called Crystal. Crystal Geyser, spring water, bottle at the source. Okay, that's one that we use. Or any water, there's a lot of them out there that are saying spring water, but bottle at the source. Okay, that's the key. Because that water has not been manipulated by purifying, filtering, reverse osmosis, or distilling. Okay, in that case, you would be pulling the molecule. You pull
There
the
we go.
molecule, you pull the charge. You pull the charge, you pull that hydrogen,
Yes.
which is H2O. So if that happens, now we got a problem. Okay? So that's where we want bottle at the source. Okay?
Yes.
So hopefully that helps somebody. With
Okay. Then we got Glenn that's online.
That. Okay,
now.
Glenn, you there?
There. I've had one kidney for all my life, and I have stone in that one kidney, which is a calcium stone. And they wanted to blast it, but then one doctor said, no, leave it alone. The other doctor said, well, watch it, because he said blasting it, if it wasn't fine enough, some of the articles could go into my heart or something like that. We'll just watch it and see. But it hasn't moved at all. But I want to know about cleansing and taking certain stuff to do that. I have the one kidney. What type of stuff would you take to cleanse it? Even though I don't take laxatives, I know that. I don't have the problem, but I was wondering, is there different types of cleanse that would not disrupt maybe this one kidney with this calcium stone I have? And
Sure.
I don't know how to get rid of that either.
Okay, right. Well, remember, we say wherever there's dis-ease, that means the imbalance in the body. Okay, that's all it means, dis-ease. So in the kidney, there's a dis-ease, which means it's flowing more into a state of what we call Mayo principle, tearing down, cells are tearing down.
Right.
Then the throughways, which are the sort of filters of the kidney, start to narrow. And when they narrow so tight because of malnutrition,
Yes.
starts to cut off. Now the diagnosis is that the kidneys are failing. Not failing, they're malnutrition. Okay? So that's what the herbs that we do will bring back. The herbs are feeding now the body so that it now starts to regenerate those kidneys. Now, Glenn, I don't know your personal situation and all what's actually going on with you, but I can just tell you in general, not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, but there are
correct.
herbs
Yes.
that we use to regenerate the kidneys for preventative. Okay?
I don't have a gallbladder. My gallbladder was removed about 40 years ago.
Okay, I couldn't hear you. Say that again?
My gallbladders were removed about 40 years ago. I don't have a gallbladder.
Okay, so the gallbladder now that causes, that's something else that adds to the situation, because the gallbladder makes the bowel, which now digestive issues. So that's a whole nother thing. So
Right.
definitely there's a diagnosis that is involved here also. Definitely, Glenn, we would have to sit down and see what was really going on with you. But in general, there are some kidney herbs that we use.
Right.
And some of those herbs are, there's one called Uva ursi. Okay.
Okay.
And I'll spell that for him. And again, not to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent, just food for your soul.
That's right.
Uva
that's right.
ursi, UVA, second word ursi, URSI, for the family that's listening.
Okay.
Uva
okay.
ursi.
U-E-A?
No, U, V is in Victor, A.
U-V like a Victor.
Yes. A is in apple.
Okay.
Uva ursi, U-R as in Robert, S-I. Okay. Now, not to say this is for you, but I'm just speaking in general.
Yes.
Okay. I would definitely suggest you get an assessment done. Okay. When you talk about organs and organ productivity and failure, you need to get an assessment. Simple as that. Okay? So I would say tune in. We're going to be, I'll be at the end of the show giving my information out.
Right.
So give me a call and we can assess your situation, okay?
All right, thank you very much.
Okay.
And guys, remember, Dr. Paul is here each and every Sunday. We're here to make sure that you get this information.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
I want to make sure that you give us a call. Again,
Absolutely.
right here at 215-634-8065.
Absolutely.
Again, right here on WURD 900 AM. All right?
Yes.
And make sure you call us and get to us. All right, now, we've got Glenn.
No,
As our
that
next
was
caller.
Glenn.
That was Glenn? Okay.
Glenn.
Oh, we've
Yeah.
got now Abdul Jabbar, okay? Abdul, you there?
Did he hear?
Abdul, you still there?
He might have dropped off.
He must have dropped
yeah,
off.
he must have dropped off.
All right. Well, Abdul, if you're there,
Yeah.
give us a call back in.
Okay.
Okay? Give us a call back and we'll make sure we get to you, all right?
Okay.
All right.
All right. So again, we were talking about that circadian rhythm.
Yes,
We had
correct.
12 to 7 was
Yes.
the first cycle.
Yes.
That's
Mhm.
called the intake cycle. Second cycle, 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. And that cycle is called, what is that? Assimilation.
Assimilation. All right. Talk to me.
That's the time when your body has to assimilate everything that you took in the intake cycle. So when you took the intake at 12 to 7 p.m.,
Okay.
then from 7 p.m. to 4 a.m., the body's assimilating. It's trying to take the nutrients and absorb it, put it where it needs to go.
Okay.
So in that
Okay.
case, when it happens, you now start to absorb all the nutrients. And I think we got Abdul.
Abdul, you back in?
Jabbar. You back there?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
my man. Go ahead.
How you doing, my brother?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Well, I'm happy to hear you say that Crystal Geyser is a. Would you consider that an alkaline water?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay. So my other question, I heard you mentioning something about herbs that heal inguinal hernias.
Inguinal.
Inguinal
right.
hernias, yes.
Inguinal, would that be in the lower abdominal area?
Not the lower abdominal. That would be in the groin
In the
section.
groin.
In the groin area. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So how long? You know what? You're going to mention all your information now, or you want to say it later?
I'm going to say it towards the end of the show. So just make
What
sure you
time
have
is the
it.
show over? 'Cause I got children; they want to go to the playground.
Right. We're done at 4 o'clock.
We got 15
We got
minutes.
15 minutes, Abdul.
I listen to all of y'all shows, but they demanded my time today. All right, I'm gonna stick on.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right.
All right, thank you.
You got it, my friend. We understand that. Spend time with the family because
Yeah,
that's
one
what
of
we're
the-
here for.
yeah, one of the-
Got to take care of the family, brother.
Yes.
All right, peace, brother.
You
All right,
got
peace,
it.
my brother.
All right.
I can say one of the other, one of the worst waters I could take off the top,
Yes,
and I'm just
yeah.
gonna throw them out there. Is Dasani water.
Under the bus. Under the
Yeah,
bus.
under the bus, and it might look. Bill, look what kind of water does Michael bro over here
Wait,
have?
Michael,
no.
let us have prayer, Michael.
Let's have prayer. We're gonna have prayer.
I want you to
No,
know,
what?
Michael, although it's a silver container, there is crystal geyser up.
Given to me by one of the hosts.
Yes, he's
All
gonna
right.
be harassed. Take time. He will be harassed.
That's all right. All right.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I want to say I want to tie this up, and then I have
Sure.
a special announcement today.
Sure.
I have to make because we're doing something on the Green Hour, so I want
Yes.
to tie this up real quickly.
Please do that.
because I know we'll.
Time is wrapping up, yes.
So 7 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Right.
That would be your assimilation cycle. And the assimilation cycle, that's when the body's basically assimilating the lower intestines,
Mm-hmm.
villi, extracting from the nutrients. But with the GMOs and all the pollutants and all of the bad water and all these things we're talking about,
Right.
you sometimes can destroy the villi.
Yes.
And if you destroy the villi, now you have issues with not being able to absorb any nutrients.
Yes.
So now we got another malnutrition issue. That's the number one cause for chronic conditions.
Right.
Is a malnutrition.
Yes.
So that causes a reciprocal effect of everything going
You mean
on.
as gorgeous as I look, I
As
could be
gorgeous as you
malnourished?
look, you
Oh,
get-
my, have mercy, y'all.
There's hope, y'all. There's hope. You can get it all back.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because,
Yes.
there are some people also, let's say someone works nights.
Yes.
Is
yes.
it sometimes it can be very hard for an individual like that to sort of get into the cycle.
Absolutely,
How
absolutely.
can one who works nights get into this kind of thing at the same time?
Well, remember,
without extending and going past your time
well,
here.
remember, absolutely understanding that the cycle is a perfect system.
Yes.
Understanding that what we're talking about, circadian rhythm, is what's going on inside the body. So you just understand yourself from that perspective.
Okay.
So 7 p.m. to 4 a.m., you don't want to be eating a lot of heavy meats.
Right. Okay.
No meats after 7. Actually, we say no meats after 7. You eat after 7, you're going to have a big problem because you can't digest, and as you're sleeping, you're now having to break that down. We said not necessarily eat after 7, but just no meats after 7.
Now that's
Mike's over here
interesting.
laughing, so I can't say he had that steak bone last night.
I get that.
He looks like
boy,
yeah, man.
Boy,
yeah.
Mike.
Mike. Guess
boy.
what day it is? Okay.
All right.
So 7 p.m., 4 a.m., that's the assimilation. Last cycle, 4 a.m. to 12 noon.
Okay,
that's the cleansing cycle. Remember we spoke to Janice about the eyes?
Yes.
Okay, that's the cycle that deals with the flushing of the eyes, of the intestines, the large intestines, also the skin, everything that's flushing out of the body.
See, now I know why every day the first thing I get up, when I wake up in the morning, what happens? Yes. I have the call.
Yes.
I've got to go to the bathroom, right?
Yes.
That's I get it now. I get it. Okay, that's the whole part of it. Okay, I get it. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Absolutely. So again, you got all of those cycles you have to understand. Keep them in perspective.
Okay.
We say know where you are at all time and don't break the rules. What did I say? Know where you are at all time and don't break the rules. Okay? So you got to keep that in perspective, man. We're at that time now where it's change of seasons.
Right. Okay.
And from the change of seasons time, we have to, respect and understand the circadian rhythm. Now, without further ado, I have to tell, Bill, we have an announcement today.
Okay.
And the announcement is that the Green Hour, here at the Green Hour, with the brainchild of Michael Ledbetter and Laura Lomax.
Yes.
We are embarking, and I'm proud to be a part of a new program that we're going to be rolling out, and it's called the Redemption Project.
Yes.
Y'all hear me?
Yes.
The Redemption Project.
I heard that.
And this is literally transforming lives from the inside out. And this has everything to do with our recidivism issue that's going on, which is, the incarceration rate of America right now, primarily African Americans.
Yes.
And that this cycle is a reciprocal week. It just keeps on
keeps
so
going.
we got to break this vicious cycle.
Right. Okay.
So I want to read to you our executive summary of what
I'd
we're going to
appreciate
talk
that.
about.
So we can share with everyone.
Would you mind? Okay, the Redemption Project. And this is a project that both you and I are going to be a part of. And you're going to hear more about this as the days go along and the weeks go along here on the Green Hour. But I just want to break everyone off with a little information about it.
Okay, please do.
The Redemption Project, which is TRP, is an evidence-based program whose mission is to disrupt the school to prison pipeline. With 3 levels of the entry points, the TRP addresses the issues that confront our youth at the various stages, from school to the correctional institutions. Today's cost for a student to attend school is approximately $12,000 in Western Pennsylvania versus the cost of $60,000 to $120,000 to house them in a juvenile facility.
Wow.
Moreover, the cost associated with one high school dropout is approximately $1 million.
Wow.
This is a source that we have. This source is from the Washington State Institution for Public Policy, which is in 2004, by the way.
Right. Okay.
Our program, TRP, the Redemption Project, has assembled a multidisciplinary team to take a comprehensive approach to this problem. The first level includes character development under the oversight of Character Be About It. We say be about it, right? Be about it.
Most definitely.
CBAI, right. And serving grades from K to 8 students by teaching them modeling the proper temperament. In the classroom, youth are deterred from the path that leads to prison. Using trained active troopers, that is state troopers, law enforcement in the classroom, CBAIAs, eyes, 34-week program teaches essential character traits to young learners and cultivates a positive relationship with law enforcement. So we have to develop that law enforcement, that camaraderie, to now trust again.
Right.
In addition to the CBAI, other stakeholders committed to the program include University of Pittsburgh. These are our partners.
Right.
University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, Pearl S. Buck International Cultural Competency Assessment and Training for Officers and Teachers, and Penn State University, providing independent evaluation of the program, including pre-post testing to measure achievement and results.
Right.
Our TRP's second level of evidence-based program focuses on keeping juveniles out of the system upon their release using our CBAI's Aggressive Replacement Training, ART, and Counselors Advantage for Success, CAPS program. So we have a multitude of things that we're going to address.
Okay.
According to the data from just the University of Cincinnati and Penn State, ART addresses the moral reasoning skills, streaming and anger control in juveniles, making them less likely to reoffend.
Yes.
So now we have an evidence-based program that actually we're implementing into this program.
Okay.
Now the Counselor's Advantage for Success, that's another program, mentors juveniles upon release, providing detailed information about post-secondary education, offering with financial assistance and job opportunities.
Oh, now that's a great part.
In coordination with probation and parole agencies.
Wow.
This is a dynamite program.
Wow.
This is a dynamite program. Third level, we got another third level.
Okay.
You thought that was it? It's not over. Third level of the TRP focuses on reducing the recidivism rate of inmates by providing an array of training opportunities that lead to becoming productive citizens.
Right.
Through our partnership with the University of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Did you hear that,
All
Bill?
right, I heard that.
TRP has developed a curriculum to reduce current recidivism trends for inmates that meet the eligibility requirements, such as completing Character Be About It program, aggressive replacement training.
Terrific.
In addition, our Redemption Project offers an integrated program, including a plant-based diet. That's where we come in, Bill.
Okay,
That's it.
yay.
That examines
Here
the
we
physical
go.
and
All right.
psychological status
Right.
and select participants, introduce them to the Redemption Project principles and practices, and measures their performance according to agreed-upon outcomes, such as monitoring behavior changes while incarcerated, health status, and post-release employment. The results will not only improve the lives and participants and the inmates population at the facility, but it will also have profound implications on the recidivism and the respective communities and societies at large. The cornerstone of our non-accredited certification training program is the clear set of emotions, psychological behaviors, skills, tools, and becoming productive throughout citizenship and contribute to the betterment of their communities. These courses include culinary, these are the courses, culinary, greenscaping, green landscaping, green cleaning, oh man, we know about that, nutrition, how to eat, character development, aggression reduction, training, and sustainable living. So the TRP is a collaboration with the University of Pittsburgh and the University of Pennsylvania to act as our research partners in this groundbreaking relationship to conduct a control study of the following. It goes on, and I mean, we have so much that was here. The research project will be 3 years in length, during which the time will be tests the effects of the whole food plant-based diet and behavior and overall health changes among inmates enrolling in the PA State Prison, approximately 2,000 inmates. Currently, Pennsylvania prisons are operating at 115% of their inmate capacity.
Wow.
The inmate population is growing faster than the general population. TRP, our program, multi-level approach, will develop the potential for productivity while reducing the cost to the community associated with the incarceration. Currently, our program, TRP, has letters from 114 schools. Did you hear that?
Yeah, the guys, 114 schools now.
250.
Buying into the TRP.
Right. I ain't finished. 114 schools, 250 juvenile centers.
Wow.
And we have the commitment for 20 prisons requesting this program.
Oh, wow.
And this is going to be a dynamite program. And I mean, I know we running low on time, and I really went past my time on that. I took Mike to the level on that one. But Mike, this is, family, this is an incredible program.
Yes,
the brainchild of Michael Ledbetter and Laura Lomax.
Yes,
I want to say,
appreciative of them for
when
that.
they presented this to me.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
When we found out this and they asked me to be a part of this, I thought this was the most incredible thing that we could ever embark on at this time. Such a time as this, as the Bible says. So, yeah.
I'm so grateful because you know what? After having taught in a prison for 12 years, I see how this can be a tremendous oh man, it can change things.
Absolutely.
Dramatically.
Absolutely. So we got to know how you eat does change the way you act.
Yes, indeed.
So if you start eating junk, you eat junk, you start to act like junk.
You become junk.
My father used to always say, Lil Paul, stinking thinking. Stay away from stinking thinking.
Stinking thinking will do it.
All right, I'm going to tie this up because I promised some folks that they'll give my information. I am Dr. Paul Hopkins, an ND, Doctor of Naturopathy, and this is the Green Hour. If you need to contact me for an assessment or one-on-one, just to sit down and talk, we will do a post-show right today, real quickly. But my number directly is 215-779-7355. That's again 215-779-7355. Or you can check me out on my website at www.drpaul, that's DRPAUL, herbs, HERB as in boy, S as in Sam.com. And that's on Facebook. I'm on hashtag Dr. Paul Herbs or Facebook. That was Twitter or Facebook. If you're doing Facebook, it's just Dr. Paul. So Dr. Paul Herbs.
Right.
And I just want to give a shout out to everyone that helped me move.
Yes.
And all the things that helped me.
Indeed.
Bill, I want to thank you for everything that you do, my brother, and and supporting the cause for the Green Hour.
This is important, my friend.
Yes, I want to shout out to our producing engineer right here.
Big Mike.
He laying it down.
Yeah.
And I also want to thank again our producers Michael Ledbetter and Laura Lomax.
Yes.
Also, thanks for our president and CEO, Sarah Lomax Reese, for the entire Lomax family.
Yes.
We always got to give a shout out, providing this platform for our people that we can actually get this information out.
Indeed.
We know desperate times require desperate measures.
Indeed.
So I want to lastly thank all of the ladies from the Natural Women's Group or the men from the Men's Gathering Group. Shout out to y'all. We thank you so much. Ladies Group meets on Canaan Baptist Church every Wednesday night, 6:30 p.m. And that's my phone ringing. Somebody's ringing already.
I'm about trying to call you already,
I don't even know
Dr.
where my
Paul.
phone is. Where's my phone?
It's up top of there somewhere.
All right.
By the way, we want to remind folks that directly after the program today, we're going to go into the other room and we're going to be online for at least maybe 20 minutes or more.
At least about 20 minutes.
Post-program questions, things like that on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Give us a call.
And the last thing was Men's Gathering meets every Friday at the Eagle's Nest, 501 West King Street in the Germantown section of Philly. We want to shout out to Reverend Ricky Housley for having us. And also Pastor Brennan over at Canaan Baptist Church, because we found this situation is for our people and we enlightenment of our people. So we thank him. So without further ado, lastly, we always say, Bill, what do we say?
Wow.
If you breathing, you got a shot. God bless you.
All right, guys. God bless. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Hey, Word family, Reverend Leroy with a boss good recommendation for Clark Roofing. I found them to be a solid business, honest, dependable, fast, and clean workers. Mr. Clark stands by his work. Call him at 215-365-7663.
Call Clark Roofing and ask for a second-generation master roofer, Calvin Clark. Clark Roofing professionally installs a variety of roofing systems for your home or businesses. Call Clark Roofing at 215-365-7663 or visit their website at clarkroofingpa.com.
I would steal pills from my friend's mom.
We talk about all the common drugs, but never prescription medication.
I was addicted to pills.
Had I more knowledge, I would have done things differently.
Hello, I'm Senator Bob Casey. Prescription drug abuse is an epidemic in our communities. Please secure your medications and talk with your kids today.
Visit drugfree.org to find out how together we can make a difference. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
You're listening to Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.